Hello students, let us learn General Science for class 8 from the book Science Square. Today we are going to learn chapter 4 Materials, Metals and Non-Metals. In this chapter we shall discuss about physical properties of metals and non-metals, chemical properties of metals and non-metals, and uses of metals and non-metals. Let us begin the chapter. Metals are materials which possess the characteristics of being hard, shiny, malleable, fusible, ductile, etc. It includes iron, coal, silver, aluminium, copper, etc. Non-metals are materials which are soft and dull in appearance. It includes sulfur, carbon, oxygen, etc. What are the physical properties of the metals? Malleability, the property of metals which allows them to be beaten into thin sheets. The silver foils used for decorating sweets and aluminum foil used for wrapping food because of its malleability property. Ductility, metals can be drawn into the wires. Metals like aluminum and copper wires are used in electrical connections. You can see the silver foil which is being used for decorating sweets and it helps for wrapping the food. These are the copper and aluminium wires which is used for electrical connection. The next property is conductivity. It is good conductors of heat and electricity. It allows the current and heat to pass through them easily. Metals like iron rod, nail, copper wire, etc. are good conductors of electricity. Sonorous. Metals produces ringing sounds on hitting. You can see the bell which helps in making sound. It is made up of metal. Lustrous. Lustrous is metal's shining nature. It has the capability of reflecting the light. Chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Reaction with oxygen. When metals are reacted with oxygen, they form metallic oxides. These metallic oxides are basic in nature. Example, rusting of iron. When iron reacts with oxygen in presence of water, it forms iron oxide. This iron oxide is a metallic oxide because iron is a metal. When non-metals react with oxygen, it produces oxides. These oxides are acidic in nature. These are non-metallic oxides. Example, formation of sulfur dioxide. When sulfur reacts with oxygen, it gives sulfur dioxide. How to test the nature of metallic oxides? Collect a spoonful of rust. Dissolve it in a very little amount of water. The rust remains suspended in water. Shake the suspension well. Test the solution with the red and blue litmus papers. The red litmus turns blue. This shows that the metallic oxides are basic in nature. We are taking the rust in the spoonful and dissolving it in water to form a suspension. Now you are testing the solution for the nature. Let us test the nature of non-metallic oxides. Take a small amount of powdered sulfur in deflagrating spoon and heat it. The deflagrating is just to make you cautious. When sulfur starts burning, introduce the spoon into a glass tumbler and cover the tumbler to ensure that the gas does not escape. After some time, remove the spoon and water into the tumbler. Quickly replace with a lid. Shake the tumbler well. When checked with the blue litmus paper, you can see it changes into red. This shows that the non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. This is a deflagrating spoon. It has been placed inside the glass jar or glass tumbler. We are doing this in order to avoid the gas to be escaped. After removing the lid, we are checking it for litmus paper. Chemical properties of metals and nonmetals. Reaction with water. Some metals like sodium, calcium reacts vigorously with water, and hence these are stored in kerosene, while some metals like iron reacts very slowly with water. Most of the nonmetals do not react with water. However, some nonmetals such as phosphorus are quite reactive in air, so it also is kept in water to prevent explosion. So that shows the reaction of sodium with water. It is reacting vigorously with a flame, the fire. The next chemical property is the reaction with acids. When metal reacts with acid, it releases hydrogen gas with a pop sound. The presence of hydrogen gas is confirmed by bringing a burning matchstick or candle near the gas. However, metals like copper do not react with hydrochloric acid. However, it reacts with a sulfuric acid. Generally, nonmetals do not react with acids. The next property is the reaction with bases. When metals react with bases, it releases hydrogen gas. Generally, reactions of nonmetals with bases are complex. Displacement reaction. When a metal replaces another metal from its compound, it is called as displacement reaction. Metals can be arranged according to their reactivity order as shown in the figure. A more reactive metal will always displace a less reactive metal from its compound, but a less reactive one cannot replace a more reactive metal. The picture shows you the arrangement of metals in the order of their reactivity. The metals which are below hydrogen cannot replace the more reactive metals. Let us now look into the example of a displacement reaction. When zinc reacts with copper sulfate solution, then copper will be displaced by the zinc because zinc is more reactive than copper. The blue color of the copper sulfate disappears and a powdery red mass of copper gets deposited on the bottom of the beaker. So, copper sulfate when reacts with zinc, it forms zinc sulfate with copper. Let us now discuss about the uses of metals and the non-metals. Metals are generally used in making machines, automobiles, airplanes, cars, satellites, etc. It is used in making wires like copper. It is also used for making ornaments like gold, silver, aluminium, etc. Non-metals are, that is, especially oxygen is necessary for all living beings for their survival. Some non-metals like sulfur and phosphorus are used as fertilizers which enhance the growth of plants. Chlorine is a non-metal which is used for a purification of water. Some non-metals are used as an antiseptic. Metals are used in crackers such as phosphorus. Let us have a chapter recap. Metals are lustrous, malleable and ductile, whereas non-metals do not have these properties. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity, but non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity. Metals react with oxygen to produce metallic oxides, which are basic in nature. while the nonmetals react with oxygen to produce non-metallic oxides which are acidic in nature. Metals react with water to produce metal hydroxides with a hydrogen gas, while nonmetals do not react with water at all. Metal reacts with acids to produce metal salts and hydrogen gas, while nonmetals do not react with the metals. More reactive metals displace less reactive metals from their compounds in aqueous solution. This reaction is known as displacement reaction. Both metals and nonmetals are widely used in our everyday life. This ends chapter 4.